Good morning, everyone. I am so glad each one of you are here. Let me fix this computer a little bit better so we can see. And I'm so grateful each one of you are here. We are delighted to have you. I am honored to be with all of you, and I'm honored to talk with you about things that we are ready to approach. It's the last day of October. Can you believe this? Can you believe that is the last day of October? Where is this year going so fast? And we have accomplished a lot of things, but in the same time, we are dealing with I don't know, an election coming up next week, coronavirus. We have people around us putting sign or not putting sign, talking with us about politics or not. We just have a very special year. And I totally understand that many people they have a lot of questions and lots of concerns. I want to welcome each one of you here at Facebook Live. We are doing Facebook Live every Saturday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central Time. So I'm happy you're here. The question that I will answer for you, a question coming from you is, excuse me, to vote or not to vote? This is the question for many Christians that are facing on this election in America. And I have to admit that I look at several research to figure out what is going on. I mean, we have a free country. We have opportunity to go and choose our leaders, and many Christians are not going to vote. In fact, according to the Pew Research Center, 42% of Christians did not vote on last election. Many of the Christians do not want to vote because they fear that they cannot vote for one candidate or another because they might have something in the past, a sinful act or sinful attitude. I have I hope, a good answer for those Christians. If you open the Bible, you will read that God used imperfect leaders to accomplish his will, and God will use any imperfect person or leader to accomplish his purpose too. If you think of King David, he was an adulterer and a murderer, and still God used him to take Israel from a fleeting nation to a shining beacon for the world. One leader, imperfect leader. Gideon was paralyzed by fear and worship idols, and God gave him courage needed to defeat 10,000 foreign arms people, Midianites, with 300 untrained soldiers. Moses killed an Egyptian and often had accomplished things on his own, but God helped him to overcome his weaknesses and freed Israel from slavery in Egypt. For some of you that might know me or you don't know me, God used me to accomplish amazing things in Romania. That's my memoir, Saving My Assassin, and to change Romania from a socialist country to a democratic country. Now Romania is a free country. So my memoir is a proof to you that God can use any imperfect, small, imperfect person to accomplish his will. And he will do the same thing in this 2020 election with accomplishing his purpose. God's will be accomplished. It might be confusing for us, but it will be accomplished. And Christians must go and vote. Yes, I totally understand that we all are fearful of the unknown, but that fear divides us. Neighbors divided by yard signs, family divided over politics, reporting, factuals, and discussion. Even church congregation find themselves divided between the two parties line, and outside of the church walls too, people are divided. Fear should not fuel our actions, should not cover our souls and mind, but love of Christ and trust that God can do amazing things through us and in us. And he put us on this planet, on this time in America, for a specific reason and to do his will. He will guide you in a way how to vote. And our political candidate will win or lose based on how America's citizens vote on Tuesday, November 2020. But the church will lose or win, the community will lose or win, or even the country will lose on or win based on how many Christians will go and vote. No question about this. Yes, we all are not pleased with division, with lack of unity, but lack of unity and focus and purpose among Christians is troublesome, because Christians, yes, can disagree on politics, but they can be united in prayer and in guidance from God to go and vote. Fear should not cover our souls. Christ set us free, and his love and his direction should be the way we live our lives. We should continue to spread the gospel, and we should continue to base our actions on God's direction. It is true, Christians' hope is not in our politicians, but it is biblical for Christians to engage in politics and pursue political offices in order to bring the truth of the gospel into our laws and into our community. In fact, Corinthians 2, 5, 18, and 20 tells us that we need to fulfill our roles by being involved in politics and being ambassador for Christ in this country or wherever country you live. You are not voting simply for a person. You have to understand that. When you go and vote, yes, there is a name there that you vote, but you vote for an agenda, the agenda that person has. And you have to pay attention. And even if you don't like something in the past of that person, vote for the agenda for what that person stands for. We as Americans, we are allowed and we have the unique opportunity to influence our who leads us, and also we are have the opportunity to influence our laws through our leaders. For Christians, this means we must bring our biblical worldview to the public square. Political involvement demonstrates our love for our country and for our neighbors, our love and our reverence for God, because he told us that we are ambassadors of Christ here. And as ambassadors of Christ, we are involved in political arena. Political involvement shows also respect as Christians for the Bible, for what Christ is teaching us and is providing as directions for us. Therefore, it's time for us as Christians to wake up to civil engagement in America and to see God's principle advance in our society. Our mission at here, you can tell that I am passionate about that, is to advance Christ teaching and Christ directions in every area, including in politics. I encourage Christians to bring the solution of our faith into the ballot box. Our nation's founding father exercised this role in serving in the government, and they gave us a free country, and it's time for us to follow their example as citizens, as Christians, and to let our faith impact our nation too. Voting recognizes this, our vote recognizes that we are submitting to the authority of the political system in our country as it was established by God. And we have an influence in the way we want to improve it, in the way we want to keep it. Voting recognizes the equal opportunity, equality of people and their right to vote. I believe that my vote has the same power as your vote. Therefore, it's time for you to go and vote. It's also voting, it's a way to obey God's commandment to seek the good for the city or the nation where he placed us. Jeremiah 29, 5, 6. It shows our desire and deep respect for the way we choose our leaders, not only the way we vote, but after that, the way we pray for them, the way we support them. Look in 1 Timothy 2, 1 and 2. It's also, our voting is a very significant way, one of the very significant ways that we can do something about politics in our country. All that is required for the evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. Look at Psalm 34, 14. I hope that encourages you and motivates you to vote. Your voting makes you indeed to be the salt of the world and to make an influence in this society. Look at Matthew 5, 13. Voting, it's a privilege. Maybe you heard my story that when I was not yet an American citizen, I was only a resident in the United States here in Dallas, Texas. And we had free election for the first time in Romania. After 53 years of socialist, I drove to vote for Romania from Dallas, Texas to Washington, D.C. And also I went to vote because it was for the first time in my life to vote for Romania, where I was allowed to vote for one candidate that I was the one deciding. Under socialism, when I was in Romania, we have only on the ballot list, we had only one candidate, and that was the one established by the socialist government. That was the reason why I drove from Dallas, Texas with my kids, and the youngest one was under 1 year old, to go and vote for the first time for the free election in Romania after 53 years. And also, I had the opportunity for the first time in my life as still a Romanian citizen to vote and choose one candidate. That finally we had several candidates there because it was a democratic country. So voting, it's a privilege, and many of us here in the United States, we are taking it for granted. Those of us who reap the benefits of living in the democracy should play a part in upholding democracy. I advise you to go and vote. And if you have no power or no desire to do it for you, I'm asking you to do for your kids and for your children's children, for generations to come. Maybe you heard me that because my parents and my relatives were and people in Romania at a time like similar with the time that we are going right now, they were fearful to go and vote, or they thought that they didn't have choices. They did not vote, and the ones who wanted to establish socialists, and we had the horrors of socialists for 53 years in Romania. So I'm asking you to go and vote and to value your vote. No, voting is a form of voting, and it will influence the outcome. We need to take responsibilities for our actions as well for our lack of actions. And if you want to find something to support you, please look 10:27:37. Voting is biblical. Voting is a part of the stewardship to use our resources and the power and freedom that God gave us, and to honor God. To waste a vote is to squander a gift. So my advice to you is vote for a candidate, vote for his agenda, for what he stands for life, for God, for unborn children, for family, religious rights, constitution, the right to bear arms, a candidate who for the 47 months proved to be trustworthy for your vote. Think about a candidate who was in politics and is still in politics for 47 years, has done nothing for you, and will bring the horrors of socialists. Remember, you vote for an agenda, a capitalist or a socialist agenda. And I hope you go and vote to honor God. Vote for capitalism. I voted for Donald Trump, and I hope you go and vote for Donald Trump too, so you can keep America free. We can keep together America free, and we can keep freedom for generations to come. Until next time, Saturday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central Time, God bless you. Go and vote and pray and do your civil duty. We will watch together the voting on November 3rd. God bless you, and go and vote. Bye-bye.